Good morning. Welcome to Thought for the Day. This morning I want to talk about the man at Bethesda, the man who'd been an invalid for 38 years, sitting by the pool who Jesus miraculously healed. But I want to look at the question Jesus asks him. Jesus says to him, "Do you want to be well?" And when we look at this, we think, what a ridiculous question. Of course the guy wants to be well. He's been sat there for 38 years, unable to move. But actually, I've been reflecting and thinking that actually it's not as ridiculous a question as it seems. St. Augustine once said this, he said, "The life to which we're accustomed holds us more than the life we long for." The life for which we're accustomed holds us more than the life we long for. This guy had been on his mat for 38 years. Healing was going to be a big change. He'd have to give up the income that he was receiving from begging. He might have to have new routines, new relationships, new demands. It was a scary prospect. And then I was reminded of a friend of mine who works in a prison. Isn't it amazing that we have Christians in all areas of society? Isn't it amazing that my friend and others bring Jesus into the prisons? But he told me a story once about when people leave prison when they're released. And they get a small amount of money. And they see them on their way and they shake his hand and they say, we're rehabilitated, we're not going to be coming back. And then he said that sometimes, particularly when the prisoners have been there a long time, they, within a few days, they come back. And what they've done is they've taken the money and they've left prison and they go and they drink the money and they basically steal something in order to get themselves back into prison. And the reason they do this is because being in prison feels safer than being free. Being in prison feels safer than being free. And they miss out on something better. And what about us? We're not going to be in prison, but we stay in jobs, don't we, that deplete us because we're comfortable. We stay in relationships that aren't good for us because they're familiar. Even dysfunctional families find comfort in the familiar and the dysfunction. But actually, if we truly want to be all that God wants us to be, we have to be changed and we have to partner with God and we truly have to want it. And so when Jesus says to that guy who's been lying there for years, "Do you want to get well?" What he's asking him is, are you willing to be uncomfortable for a bit? Are you willing to be uncomfortable while your body heals, uncomfortable while you step into paths unknown? Are you prepared to be uncomfortable while you let go of what is familiar? Do you want to get well? And I just think this morning we should reflect and we should think, what is it that God wants to do in us? And do we really want it? Or is being in prison better than being free? And is the life to which we're accustomed holding us more than the life we long for? Have a great day today.